Well, if we are looking at a car parked on the side of a building, that can only mean one thing. That's right, we are back here in the Wisconsin Dells to check out Ripley's Believe It or Not. We have been here a couple times before. We've also come to see Wizard Quest right here in this area. Wizard Quest has now moved down the street and we've been there. And now Ripley's Believe It or Not has moved to where the Wizard Quest location used to be. And that's what we are here to check out. How much did it stay the same? How much is it different? I don't know. We'll have to find out together. But welcome to another edition of Tommy Travels. It's Tommy Travels. This should be a really fun adventure, you guys, so come on with me. Let's go see what there is to see. Oh my goodness, this is where Ripley's used to be. This is the building that it was in. There used to be a plane crashing into it right about here. All sorts of theming on the outside, which is all gone. You can see remnants of some Egyptian artifacts or something like that. There used to be all sorts of cool little things around here, but they are all gone. As Adam the Woo would say, erased from existence. And as sad as it is to see the other one go, this is the new theming for the new Ripley's Believe It or Not. Wow, that was loud. Looks like some drum cymbals up there or something. A little bit of that is still Wizard Quest theming from the old building. So they've kept a little bit of a mix of the two. I wonder if it'll be kind of like that on the inside too. I like the green trees. Ripley's Believe It or Not. Looks pretty cool so far. It'll be interesting to see what's on the inside. Well, here's where we came in. Here's a little 360 of the lobby. Kind of a cool little area. There used to be a big dragon there when it was Wizard Quest. Cool stuff all over the ceilings and the trees. This is my friend Matt, who is a good host and taught me all about the layout of this place, which is uniquely Ripley's Believe It or Not, and a little bit of Wizard Quest mixed in as well. So this should be really fun, starting with Michael Jordan. And if you've ever been to a Ripley's Believe It or Not, things are not always exactly what they seem. This Michael Jordan is made out of all sorts of different little things made of his likeness, made of different recyclable materials. It's a life-size Michael Jordan made out of Michael Jordans. Look at this one, sticking right out of his leg there with the American flag. 6'6". That is cool. There's a motorcycle made out of animal bones. Wow, you didn't see that one on American Chopper. And then kitchen utensils. Who doesn't have a whole drawer full of these spatulas and spoons and all of these things? You never thought of making a horse head, did you? And here's another one too, made out of white ones. That is amazing. And we're not even inside yet. So now let's do that. Let's head right inside here and see what else we got in store. Wow. Looks like we're moving into a whole kind of a, look at this thing, a chair on a panda bear. A huge grasshopper. It's like an enchanted mushroom forest. Rolled paper art. Wow. Chi Hitosuyama of Japan doesn't read newspapers, she makes sculptures with them. She individually rolls wet pieces of newspaper and places them together to create various animals, and this is her walrus. Wow. You can already just feel the magic here as we step inside. Look at that. Here's a little bit of a shout out to the last building, a duct tape prom dress. And here's the lovely couple right here, sporting their duct tape outfits. They're from Louisiana and they wore it to prom. And in the old location, there was a whole room made out of everything with duct tape. The bed, the dresser, the mirror, everything in the room was all made out of duct tape. And here's a dress made entirely of beer can tabs. If you look closely, you can see that's what they are. Wow. Mario Bruton of France uses taxidermy to make childhood story characters come to life. And this is White Rabbit. And this, of course, is Alice in Wonderland. She is the longest resident of this building right here. She's been here for 50 years. This used to be a wax museum called the Royal Wax Museum. And then it became Wax World of the Stars, as the sign says down here. And then it was Wizard Quest and now Ripley's. And I don't think she's going anywhere anytime soon, are you, Alice? Nope. Okay. Yes, and now we get to the part that will remind you of Wizard Quest. Well, this is kind of weird to stand on here. If this thing crashes through, I don't know what's going to happen, but I will not be feeling good. Look at that castle. They still have the castle here. I love that. They had that last time, but it is a slightly different view than it used to be. We got a huge giraffe here. We have birds flying overhead. We have all sorts of colorful odds and ends and oddities. Wow, very cool. This is a hint at what it used to look like before. Back when it was Wizard Quest, it used to look a little bit like this, which was very cool and magical in itself. But now it's a whole different building, whole different theme. Very nice and shiny and new looking. Another thing that hasn't changed, these are modes of transportation to get down there. I will not be utilizing this form of transportation today, but it's there if you want it. And this is Dr. Fogel's original flying arrow car. It's made entirely from debris salvaged from the streets of London during the Battle of Britain, November 1940. Dr. Fogel's unusual Fogelmobile boils water, plays music, and can be driven, but despite its propellers, it will not fly. But it is very cool looking nonetheless. And I just noticed that this bird up here is a cheesehead. Since we are in Packerland, that only makes sense. Here's another piece that I remember from the old building, the Mad Hatter. Looks like just a regular painting or picture, but nope, it's made entirely out of duct tape. If you look closely, you can even see it. It's just so cool. And this is what's called butterfly art. What is butterfly art? That's when famous pieces of art are painted on butterflies. Right here is the Last Supper painted on a butterfly. When I woke up this morning, I did not think I would be seeing the Last Supper painted on a butterfly today. And here's another one, Picasso and guitar. Look at how intricate that is. I can't imagine even how that was done. And here we have Saint Germain. She is the patroness of disinfectants. Soapy super suds, OCD bust dust. I love it. You're doing a great job. Now stop by my apartment ASAP. This is Saint Carlotta. Carlotta, the patroness of auto sales. Look at that, all this auto things, keys and cars all around her. Very nice. Keep up the good work. Take a look at this. Can anyone hazard to guess what this may be? I could not tell myself. I had no idea. But if you are a super big fan of Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, you just might know that it is a dragon carpet sweeper. This odd machine was designed by Roland Emmett for the movie Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Created to vacuum floors, the dragon carpet sweeper is made from chimney cowl and has electric eyes equipped with a pair of magnifying spectacles to locate dirt. Look at that. Oh, and there's the eyes right down here in front. You can kind of see them. Oh, look, yep, there's a little nose. Let me move in there. I don't know if you can really tell too well there. But, yep, those are the eyes right there. Locating all the dirt. That is probably the coolest thing I've seen today. Pretty much every Ripley's Believe It or Not has something made out of matchsticks. Something very hard to make. Something you wouldn't believe is made out of matchsticks. But this is the Robert E. Lee. Look at that amazing structure. Wow. Took 1,000 hours to assemble this model, in case you were wondering. That is a lot of hours, and 50,000 household matchsticks. Woo. And this is John Lennon. And as a regular frequenter of Ripley's Believe It or Not, I know that a picture is never just a picture. Yes, we just saw one made out of duct tape. This one is a portrait of Beatles member John Lennon, created entirely from the hard iridescent wing casings of jewel beetles. So this is a beetle made out of beetles. I love it. And here's an entirely ordinary looking cow made up entirely of puma shoe soles. That's kind of hard to say. Shoe soles. She sold seashells by the seashore. Look at that. Shoes. Puma. Look at all those. This one does not say how many, but trust me, it's a lot. This is Albert Einstein's wax figure head. What's cool about that? You can see Albert Einstein at just about any wax museum. But this was created by Catherine Stuberg, a celebrated wax sculptress. And this was actually signed by Einstein himself. Right on the back of his neck there. Wow. What an honor for that artist. Also, if you're wondering if this really looks like Einstein, this is actually taken from a direct cast from his face. And take a look at this. We were poor when I was 9. I had no toys, which forced me to develop a huge imagination. My father was a shoe salesman. He kept me in shoes. More importantly, he kept me in shoe boxes. I would turn those boxes into buildings, cutting holes that served as doors and windows. When I had enough buildings to form a village, I would push rocks around pretending they were cars. Now I need you to pretend with me. Let your imagination be your guide as you tour a single day in my 9-year-old life. Welcome to another boring day. Look at this. We have an alligator down here. We're under the sea down here with these creepy looking guys. But let's zoom out a little bit further here and look at all the fantastic things going on. We've got some witches flying around here at night. We've got a universe, King Kong in front of a volcano. In front of a kid just pondering life right there. Look at all of this. Shark jumping out of water, dolphins. Oh my goodness. This is more than you can catch all in one little viewing. I'm not going to spend too much time here as to not spoil everything, but the more you look, the more little details. Oh look, there's a skull coming out of the side of the mountain there. Some coyotes, wolves. And then if you really want to take some time, what to look for. And this goes through all the different things that you can find. You can probably recognize King Kong pounding his chest behind the seawall. There's a volcano behind him. And it goes all over the different things that you can find in here and what they mean. And here is Justin Timberlake made entirely out of push pins. Wow. I would say that's a little bit thumb-tacky, but I won't. And here's Bill Gates made entirely out of keyboard keys. Look at. They are, if it will focus on them. Well, they won't focus, apparently, but they are keyboard keys. There. Keyboard keys. Unbelievable. Oh my goodness. Look at this little clockwork lullaby machine. Wow. It's got a bottle in there. This looks like seashells, a little light candle. And this was also built for the movie Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. This unusual instrument is made from a breadboard, a wine bottle, cat bells, conch shell, and sheet music. Wow. That is just mesmerizing to look at. Look at the details. And here's a picture of Roland Emmett right here. Humbug Major Candy Machine, made for the movie Chitty Chitty Bang Bang, starring Dick Van Dyke. It was designed to dip and drain parade of apples into preheated toffee mixture. It also makes lollipops and candy sticks that really whistle. He was a master inventor of crazy machines. Born in 1906, he loved inventing things and got his first patent at age 14. But it was illustrating crazy contraptions that began his career. Illustrating led to building life-size sculptures of his machines. Eventually, he was approached by Hollywood to create inventions for a major movie. And this is that candy machine right here. Look at that. And you're saying, Tom, well, that's pretty neat. But if only you could make it so we could watch it work. Hey, look at that. I wonder what this does. Oh my goodness. And they drop right there. There's the apples being dipped. Oh my goodness. all the different things going on, all the wheels turning. Look at all of that crazy stuff. That is just unreal. Man, I love this place. I need to watch Chitty Chitty Bang Bang again too, because apparently I don't remember much from that movie. Except for Chitty Chitty Bang Bang car itself. Look at that. Let's move in and look at some of the details here. You can see the apple thing going up and down. You can see this thing waving from side to side. All the little things that you miss. These wheels turning up and down. Another thing that's just mesmerizing to look at. What a work of art. And here's the view from behind the castle. Still on the second level. With the giraffe and that little guy. It's just so magical around here. It's just crazy. Who does it better, me or the Cuban eye popper? Me? Cuban eye popper. I think the Cuban eye popper has this one. Congratulations, sir. Look, he's surprised he won. And then we have JT Sailors. Another Ripley's favorite who can do this. Put his lower lip all the way over his nose. I mean, come on. Just give it a try. I bet you just tried to try and you failed. And then another Ripley's favorite, Eric Sprague. He totally tattooed his body in scales, which is a little bit freaky enough, but he also put in these Teflon implants and split his tongue like that to totally transform himself into Lizard Man. Whoa. He's actually a really nice guy though. I know a guy that I follow, Jacob the Carpetbagger, has met him in person and he's very nice. So if you ever run across a Lizard Man, just say hi. Don't run and scream.
Man. And you might be wondering, how does one turn themselves into a lizard man? Well, for me, the procedure started with 700 hours of tattooing. But it still wasn't quite done, so I went a couple of steps further. For instance, I have horn ridges over my eyes that were created by implanting Teflon subdermally onto my skull. I also have razor-sharp teeth thanks to a dentist filing them down with his drill. And of course, the piece de resistance is my tongue. Or I should say my tongue, plural, because I do have two.
Wow. Oh my gosh. I didn't know he could do that. That is something. This is Walter Hudson. He was 1,400 pounds in 1987. He lost 600 pounds and opened a mail order business selling clothes for extra large women. When he died, he weighed 1,025 pounds. There he is, Walter Hudson. And you might remember this guy from the Guinness Book of World Records, Robert Wadlow, the tallest man. Look at that. He grew to be 8 feet 11 inches tall. I come up to right here on him. Look how far up he goes from there. I'm about 5'8". He is 8'11". Wow. Look at that. There's some video of him. My goodness. You can't even walk into a room without bending down. That must have been a difficult life, though. I totally would understand if you said that. And this may look like an ordinary Jack Sparrow, but it is not. Not at Ripley's, believe it or not. It is made entirely of beach debris and seashells. And if you do a close-up on his hand there, and he's behind glass, so it's kind of tough to tell, but you can see that's seashells and all sorts of other little intricate little things that washed up from the beach. There's a bottle of some sand, all sorts of other little creatures and crustaceans to make up Jack Sparrow. And this is Johnny Eck, another Ripley's favorite. His torso stopped where his hips should have started. The doctor predicted he would never live, but he went on to become a famous musician, artist, actor, swimmer, juggler, and more. He was a man of all trades. Just absolutely unbelievable what you can do with the positive attitude. And here's something that has not changed from the last location. They have a mirror maze. I'm not going to step in here because the last thing people need to see is 4,000 of me. One is enough, and that's maybe too much in itself. And look at this. It looks like a rock, right? Feels like glass. That's what it feels like. But it is petrified wood. Polished petrified wood. And it's created by silica-rich waters impregnating rotting wood. Petrified wood is hard as stone and will not burn. I saw a lot of this in my Route 66 adventures. It's kind of cool to see it again. You don't see much of it up in these parts. And every unusual man needs an unusual woman. And this is his match. This is Maria Jose Cristerna. Used to be a lawyer, but now nearly 100% of body is covered in tattoos, many which she applied herself. Well done. Looks like she's got some implants in her forehead as well. Now we're on the lower level behind the castle, and here's another room that hasn't changed. A room of doors. These are always fun, because you never know what you're going to find. And I don't remember what were behind the doors when it was Wizard Quest. Certainly don't remember what's behind any of these doors. So let's take a look behind this one. Nothing. A brick wall. This one seems to be chained. Oh no. Oh, look at. Yes, I remember you. This is the original Count Dracula. It's Vlad the Impaler. I remember him from the last location. Good to see you again, buddy. And then door number 3. People always pick door number 3. Let's see if that's a good choice here. It is not. It does not open. Door number 2. Genuine medieval chastity belt. Wowzers. I'm not going to say anything more about that. And then, I don't know what that is, a mirror ambiogram. I don't quite, word written so that the first half and last half are reflections of each other, but combined they create a complete word or phrase. These words can only be read when held against a mirror. Yeah. Okay. I've been driving for too long today to figure that out. Let's see door number 7. Vampire killing kit. This is another one I remember. All the essentials for killing the old vampires. Or as YouTube likes to say, unaliving vampires. Door number 6 has no handle, so we'll never know. That about does it for this room. And here is a bronze statue of the man himself. There is Ripley. Hello, Ripley. Welcome to Tommy Travels. And where did all of this begin? Ripley's first, believe it or not. It was a cartoon for the New York City Globe. And he drew things like this based on real people and real events. It was originally called Champs and Chumps, but he was unimpressed with his day's work, so he changed it to Believe It or Not. Like, this is Jay Darby, who jumped backwards. This is R.P. Williams, who made a running high kick of 10 feet 3 inches. This is the guy who kept walking backwards. Wow. Ran 100 yards backwards in 14 seconds. That's A. Forrester. Ed Lamy broad jumped on ice. SDC hopped for 100 yards in 11 seconds. Wow. J.M. Barnett jumped rope 11,800 times in about 4 hours. Holy cow. And this pair did a 100-yard sack race in 11 seconds. A three-legged race, that's what they call it. And here you can see where Champs and Chumps was changed to Believe It or Not. Oh, look at this. This used to be the Land of Water when it was Wizard Quest. And now it is Ripley's Grotto. But they've kept some little hints of the old building here, which I love seeing that. This is a trophy skull. Look at that. Cannibal trophy skulls were once worn as amulets by head-hunting warriors. The people of New Guinea are both headhunters and ancestor worshippers. Skulls are decorated and kept as a sign of reverence for the deceased. Wow. And look at this. I've been wanting to practice on my skills. Oh yeah, you can hear it a little. Maybe not. That's not working too well. We'll give up on that one. They've got a set of gears here that you can play with. This is kind of cool. Twist that around and all of those cause and effect. I like that. That's one thing I like about Ripley's Believe It or Not. It's got a lot of interactive little exhibits as well. And you have to make sure you look up around here, otherwise you'll miss out on a plane that's driven by Ripley himself. And incidentally, this bedazzled plane was built by artist Norm Rawlingson, who was also a pilot, and he is the one that built the original Ripley's Believe It or Not location here in the Wisconsin Dells in the building I showed you at the beginning of this video. It stood there for 32 years until it moved here in 2023. This picture is showing artist Mark Shoesmith touching the face of Robert Ripley with a bust right there in front of him of Robert Ripley. The interesting thing about this photo is that Mark Shoesmith is blind, so he had to make that bust completely by feel. And this is that bust right here. Believe it or not. And whenever you see a sarcophagus at Ripley's Believe It or Not, there's probably something that it's hiding. Are you any different? No, you are not. Let's see what you are hiding. Anything? A little cave. Oh, look. With some bats. Some creepy looking hand-painted vampire bats. So they're real bats with hand painting on them. Wow, something the average person probably missed at this museum, and we found it. And then we can go from this little corridor and bend down and get into this little corridor. And there's another door that takes us right back out into familiar territory. Wow, that was interesting. And now we are entering the art walk with this colorful skeleton right here. Bringing us to this artist right here, which I don't need to strike on my channel, so we're gonna skip past the music. Over here to see this awesome piece. Paint chip peacock, made all out of paint chips. That's pretty wild. Seed art rooster. Seed art. They have that at the South Dakota. What am I thinking of? The castle. The Corn Palace. Thank you. The Corn Palace. It's all made out of corn. They do art like this. Really wild. Now this is cool right here. This is a guy, this is an artist that can draw using both hands at the same time while drawing two different faces. You're going to be able to find out who they are momentarily as they come together. As you can see, Shawshank Redemption come to mind, anybody? Morgan Freeman, Tim Robbins. Pretty neat. And here is that finished painting right here. Pretty miraculous, huh? Look at this, you guys. What are these cool faces made out of? A household item that everyone is very familiar with. They are used up toilet paper rolls. Look at those. Boy, the things that people think of, huh? I think the old place used to have a psychedelic hallway like this too. And now this one has one too. Oh, look at that. A portrait of Jake Sully right over here, made out of alphabet soup. But it's a reflection of Jake Sully, because that is the actual one. Get all these things out of the way. And this is supposed to resemble kind of the tree from Avatar. That is wild. Oh, look at those glowing plants down there. How cool is that? And look, I've got green spots on my hands. One thing after another around here. Look at this guy right here.
Being here in Gatlinburg has been such
He's in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, one of those spots on my bucket list to travel. Have you ever made, you know, things burn with a magnifying glass before? He does that on a grand scale, and look at this artwork he can do on wood. And here we have one right here. Sunlight art is what it's called. And this is bird flying through wave. That was all done with a giant magnifying glass. Now that is cool. So now we have run across this gate. Just a forewarning, I already know how this works because a friend helped me with some cheating. It doesn't open, the doorknob doesn't move on either side. None of this stuff does anything. So how does it open? Well, it does open. You have to spend quite a bit of time figuring it out. You can see this mechanism right here. This needs to come up, but the gate doesn't lift. But, oh, look at that. That goes down. And then, we can pull this. I can't push it down that far enough. There. Now, open. Got a little help from my friend here. So, I've shown you how this one works. Whoops. There we go. Only viewers of my channel know the secret if you haven't been here to figure it out. But there are other ones at other Ripleys, believe it or not, that have different combinations to figure that out. They're not all done like that. All sorts of different ways. So if you get to a Ripley's, believe it or not, other than here in the Wisconsin Dells, good luck. So I've come back to what I call the water room and looked at this guy again. We showed it a little bit earlier in the video. And this is a skull, but it is not a shrunken head. And there's always a shrunken head in every Ripley's Believe It or Not museum. And I know that there was one hidden in this one. And I was staring right at it and I didn't even know it. It says, press down on all three if you wish to see the fate of my enemies. But I can't push all three, so my friend Mike here is helping me out. I'm gonna push this guy down, and then we wait to see what happens. Oh my gosh, and it's lifting up, and oh, there it is. A famous Ripley's shrunken head. Oh, shrunken heads, plural. Oh my gosh. Jivaro Indian shrunken heads. These came from normal-sized people. The Jivaro Indian of Ecuador claimed their enemies. Oh, and there goes. That was neat. Wow. All sorts of cool tricks here. And of course, we exit through the gift shop. They've got all sorts of phenomenal plushie toys under the tree. They've got little gadgets and doodads and thingamajigs and hats and thingamabobs. But you know me, I like magnets. And so I got one for me and one for my good buddy Robert, depicting none other than Robert Wadlow, 8 feet 11 inches tall, right there. Robert's gonna like that one. Well, as you guys know, I always like to end these things on a water feature, and the closest thing we have to a water feature is that little lake right down there. The fake lake. But what a cool place this is. My gosh, how magical. With the birds flying overhead, the big giraffe. Ripley's Believe It or Not. What a great time. I saw so many neat things here, it's hard to even list them all off. Matching eyes with the Cuban eye poppers, standing next to Robert Wadlow, seeing the shrunken heads. What an adventure. If you guys liked what you saw here today, go ahead and hit like on my YouTube channel. While you're at it, go ahead and hit subscribe and the little bell notification next to it so you can be the first to know when a new adventure comes out. If you'd like to support me even further, think about becoming a member by hitting the join button, or there's a link in my PayPal. You can give me a little something for the gas money. Thank you so much for all of the support that you've given me so far. And until next time, I hope to catch you on the flip side. And this little piece right here looks like a helicopter, and it looks a little bit like a T-Rex. And it is. It's called Traveling Man. It is part T-Rex, part helicopter, made in 2008 by an artist by the name of John Schwartz of Michigan. And it's ready for takeoff. Look at that. You can see the T-Rex head right there. Absolutely cool. And then you can see the helicopter blades. Looks like it's ready for flight.